you guys, it's Erin from theyouthmethod.com, and I'm here today with a stretch to help your low back. Low back pain is so prevalent in so many people, and my true passion is to really give you the tools and the mobility exercises and the things you need to prevent back pain, or if you have it, to hopefully help you feel better. So I love this. This is a super easy stretch. I call it an easy stretch for a happy low back. And I've done a couple of videos on hip flexor mobility and hip rotation mobility. And this one does deal with the hip flexors. We know there's 4 different hip flexor muscles. And this one kind of focuses on the rectus femoris, but also just the major hip flexor muscles as well, the iliopsoas. So when you have tight hip flexors, if you allow that to happen, what happens is those hip flexors start to pull on your pelvis so that you start to tilt forward, which, as you can see, puts a lot of excess pressure on the spine, and that's why it can lead to a lot of low back pain. So making sure that this area of the hip flexors are flexible is important, so that we're not always in this posture, but more rather in a neutral spine posture to reduce pressure on the spine. So it'll make you feel so much better if you can do that. So to do the first one, you will probably, if this is the first time you're doing it, want something to hold on to. So you can have a chair in front of you, or if you're standing next to something, you can hold on to. But there's one key thing to this, and if you've seen any of my flexibility exercises, when you're stretching the hip, it's really important to have a pelvic tuck or a posterior pelvic tilt. So a tuck is basically just tucking your tailbone under so that your pelvis tilts back, okay? So you're gonna hold on to something if this is your first time. You're gonna grab your ankle, and if you can't reach your ankle with your hand because you have loss of motion, you can grab a belt and put the belt around your foot and pull up. Gives you a little bit more leeway there. So I'm gonna grab my ankle, and you're gonna pull that knee back. And now this is the key to getting a really good stretch. We're gonna do that pelvic tuck that we talked about. We're gonna tuck that tailbone under. So you don't wanna do this. It's bringing that knee back as far as you can as you tuck that pelvis. So the back is staying pretty neutral rather than this. Very different, and you're gonna feel it a lot more differently. If you're doing this correctly and you've got a good tuck and the knee is pulled back, you're gonna feel it in the front of the leg, and you'll also feel it in the hip flexors, which is primarily the rectus femoris that you'll feel it. Now a good long stretch would be like 20 to 30 seconds. Give it a little rest, and you'd repeat it on the other side. I usually recommend 3 rounds of about 30 seconds. If you're short on time, at least do 1 on each side, and it'll make a huge difference in that hip flexor area and preventing this in the low back. Now, if you have trouble doing this standing, you can also do this on the floor, where you'll just get down on your side. Now, this is important to really keep your hips stacked on each other. You don't want to roll forward, or you're not going to get the right kind of stretch. And then what you're going to do, same thing, you're going to bring those legs back in line with your hips. You're gonna grab that foot, you're gonna tuck that pelvis, and hold. Same thing. And then you would do that on the other side as well. So, like I said, if you can keep those more loose and keep them more flexible, remember, we sit so much, so this whole area gets really tight. And if you can keep it more flexible, it's gonna take a lot of pressure off your spine, and you're gonna notice a huge improvement in your back pain if you have it. And if you don't have it yet, it's going to help you prevent it from happening. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have other exercises you'd like me to help you with, or you're having other issues that you'd like advice on in my upcoming videos, be sure to comment on that below. And then for more amazing flexibility exercises like this to help with your mobility, posture, strength, be sure to pick up my free 10-minute exercises. My free 10 exercises to help you look and feel younger. It's free below. It's got amazing exercises for you just like this to help you look and feel amazing. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel below. You can press the subscribe button below the video, or you can subscribe right here. And we'll see you guys next time.